Hey, what's up? This is Harry Wagner from Harry's Situations, and today I want to talk to you about winter driving conditions. I want to talk specifically about the difference between deep snow and icy roads. They are quite different, and how you want your vehicle set up for those is quite different too. Specifically tires. We're going to go into a lot of detail about tires, but we'll talk about other things related to your setup as well. Now, I learned this the hard way, like most things I have learned. When I was in college in Colorado, I had a Jeep CJ7. I thought it was unstoppable, but it turns out it was not. I ended up in a lot of ditches. It was short wheelbase, tall center of gravity. It had wide tires on it, and it would just slide off the road. Now, my girlfriend at the time had a Nissan Sentra. Don't think of those as being an awesome snow vehicle, but it really was. It was lightweight, it had really narrow tires on it, and it was front wheel drive. So instead of skidding out like my Jeep that either needed to be rear wheel drive or locked in four wheel drive, the front tires would keep you pulling straight. Fast forward, and now I am married, and my wife Maxie daily drives this Subaru Outback. So we made a whole video about this car. It's an Outback XT, it's got a turbocharged engine, manual transmission, but specifically in the winter, this car is great. Subarus have a reputation for being very sure-footed in snow. I think that's true up to a certain depth. This car has about 12 inches of ground clearance. It's got independent front and rear suspension, so it's very smooth underneath. So as long as the snow isn't too deep, it does well. It's also very sure-footed on icy roads. The configuration is, it's all-wheel drive. It has a viscous coupler in the center differential that sends power front and rear, and then open differentials. So there's no binding that would ever cause you to lose control. It's also fitted with Nitto's Nomad Grapplers, which are 3 Peak Mountain Snowflake rated. Now, while not a dedicated snow tire, these have a lot of the same features that a snow tire has, and they're rated for 60,000 miles, which you're not going to find in any snow tire. When you're driving on ice, you want to get down to the pavement if possible. So you want a high contact pressure and a small contact patch. So a narrow tire works pretty well for these sort of conditions. These Nitto Nomad Grapplers, you'll notice they've got two grooves that run around the circumference of the tire. Those really provide a lot of lateral stability so you don't slide. And then the tread blocks all have a lot of sipes on them. So sipes are these little cuts in the tire. And what that does is allows water a place to evacuate. So the pressure from your tire on the ice turns that ice into water. And that can cause you to hydroplane. In essence, that's what you're doing when you lose control. So the Nomad Grapplers give that water a place to go and provide a lot of stability. Maybe you don't have an SUV or a CUV, maybe you drive a truck. The Exo Grappler from Nitto is also 3 Peak Mountain Snowflake rated, really good winter tire. They're actually set up for studs too, you can pin them with studs. Now, I've never run studs, we don't need them around here. I think that they actually are a detriment on dry roads, to the road, to your handling and stopping ability. But it is an option. If you live in a place where there's ice on the road for months out of the year, it might make sense for you to have those. I've mentioned 3 Peak Mountain Snowflake. So you might have seen mud and snow tires, M+S. That doesn't really mean much other than the tread pattern. This 3 Peak Mountain Snowflake is actually a government rating. So companies have to earn that rating with their tires, and there's a test of acceleration on snow. And if you can go fast enough relative to the test tire, then you get the rating. If not, you don't. They don't test braking or handling, but we can assume that if a tire is better at acceleration, it'll be better at braking as well. A note when driving on ice, only do one at a time. So if you're braking, don't try and turn the wheel. If you're trying to turn the wheel, don't be on the brakes because you'll lock up those tires. Even if the wheels are turned, you'll just keep sliding straight. You may be wondering about chains also. I don't typically run chains. There's actual chain material, there's cable chains. If you have a car with compromised tires, maybe summer tires or something that's rear wheel drive, I think that chains make a lot of sense, particularly if you're not going to use them on a regular basis, enough to justify buying a whole other set of tires or a vehicle specifically for the snow. There's compromises with chains as well. They really limit how fast you can go, they tear up the road, and they're not the most elegant solution. Again, they'll get you through, but not very fast. Some folks run chains in deep snow also. I do not. I don't know if you've priced chains for 42-inch tires, but they are not cheap. Now, if you're wheeling in deep snow, this is about the best setup that I've found. Tire size is very important here, as is ground clearance. So while the Subaru only had a foot of ground clearance, to the frame rails on this is over 2 feet tall. It also has tires that are 42 inches tall versus 27 inches, which makes a big difference. Not just in allowing the tire to float and sort of balloon out with the extra sidewall, but if you think about the mathematical terms for having this bigger circumference, you're not really breaking through the crust. You know, you have a larger, longer contact patch, and that really helps in the snow. This truck is set up with a four-wheel drive transfer case that you lock into low, and Detroit lockers front and rear, so all 4 tires are spinning at the same time. On ice, that is terrifying, but in deep snow, it works out really well. This truck is equipped with 42-inch Nitto trail grapplers. These tires are not Three Peak Mountain Snowflake rated. This is more of a mud terrain tire, so you'll notice it has big lugs and big voids, really deep tread depth. So all of that is great when you want to evacuate out mud, snow, sand, but on icy roads, those big tread blocks don't give the water any place to go, and so they can cause you to slide. You might be wondering, well, why don't these tires have sipes in them? If sipes are so great at evacuating water and keeping the tread cool, the problem with sipes is that if you spin the tire, they can cause chunking or they can cause the lugs to tear. Everything is a trade-off and a compromise, so you just have to determine what is best for your specific application. Deep snow, I feel, is more akin to sand than it is to icy roads, to be honest. So in sand, you're never going to dig down to the bottom. You have to get up on top, and sort of flotation, horsepower helps, good suspension helps, and the same is true in deep snow. Now, when I say deep snow, I'm talking about 3 or 4 feet of snow at least. I've taken this truck through snow that deep and deeper, and it gets up on top and works pretty darn well. I've posted a lot of videos of this truck and my Jeep, the Subaru, on Instagram, and some of these videos that I posted have over 1 million views. As a result, a lot of comments from people that don't normally consume my content, and some of those comments are quite puzzling and actually were the impetus for making this video, because there was a lot of confusion about the best setup for snow. But snow can be such an abstract thing and mean so many different things that there is no best setup for all conditions. Let me share some of those comments with you now. I had a 4Runner Limited and it would go right through that. That's cute, you can't even see the tow rope pulling that pavement pounder. Pure dumb action here. Fill the radiator full of snow and it will run hot. Been there in 2-wheel drive, tire chains will hang you up to the frame. Take some air out of the tires, they'll really work well at 10 psi. Jeeps are junk, get a real truck like an F-150. That would never happen, it's a Ford, it would just get stuck and break down. Ultimate setup for deep snow is have tracks, but these cost about $20,000 new, and I can't justify that. The whole Subaru didn't even cost that much. What do you like to run in snow and ice? Did I get something wrong? Are you one of the people that comment on my Instagram posts? You can also comment below and let me know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching Driving Line. If you guys like this video, consider subscribing to our channel so you'll never miss any of the content we create here. Whether you're into trucks, Jeeps, imports, domestic vehicles, or anything in between, we are here to fuel your passion. So hit that subscribe button and we'll see you guys next time.